Okay. So if you've been keeping up with the assignments, you probably have made this little set of blocks here, and it is a basically like a clear screen and bring the sprite to the middle kind of setup. I like to use the space key because I feel like that's just real quick and easy. I've already set my pen saturation and brightness to 100, so it's not so, the colors are more bright, basically. It's not so dull. And then I'm going to quickly just build a Polygon setup. So I need a repeat, I need a move, and I need a turn. And if you probably know that to build a square, it's a repeat of 4 for 4 sides. The move controls how big the square is going to be. So I'm going to do like usually somewhere between 50 and 100 is good. And then for the turn, it's a 90. And then I'm going to go ahead and add a comment to that. So I right click on the gray area and I choose add comment. And then I'm going to attach it to the repeat. And then I can say square. Okay. So I'm going to have you guys do this, but I need people to do a triangle. Well, we already did a triangle, right? We did that last time. Can you guys put in the chat what the angle is for a triangle? Yes, everybody remembers 120, and that's because it's the outside angle. Okay, so we can't just do the 60 degrees that we imagine triangles would probably be, because it's the angle that the sprite turns on the outside of the triangle that we need to put in there. Okay, so we're looking for a pattern here. So I want you guys to investigate how to do a pentagon. This is probably the hardest one. Oh, Pentagon. And that's a 6. Hexagon. I'm not going to do a 7 because, oops, that's not what I wanted. I'm not going to do a 7-sided figure because 7 actually, it is a decimal number. So it's hard to get it perfect. But we can do an octagon. And let's also do, what's a 10? I don't know. I used to know all of these. I think 9 is nonagon. We could do a nonagon. And then a 10 is a, I don't remember. 10 has a name. Okay, maybe it's a 10gon. I think it has an actual name. So I want you guys to build this in Snap. This is just kind of testing out, so you don't have to save it. You don't have to worry about like naming your file and saving it and stuff. If you want to, you can save it. I want you guys to pick one of these. Again, the 5 is probably the hardest. It's not a number that ends in 0. For the turn angle, it's 9. All the other ones should have nice numbers that end in 0, I believe. And then 8. I should probably change those around. Okay, so in Snap, I want you to build a repeat move turn. Oops. And I want you to try and figure out one of these unknown angles. So I'll blank it out so you guys can see that. Okay, and you can just pick whatever one you want, and hopefully we have people who have each one. So Nia, when I'm asking for an experiment, wait until I ask for the answer, okay? So that everybody has a chance to kind of experiment and try for themselves. Okay, I'm going to give you about just like 1 minute to quickly build this and try it out, and we'll see if we can get you guys to give me the answers one at a time. That's okay. It probably wasn't clear. Oh, and I was going to do a 10. Come on. There we go. I'm going to look up what a 10 is called while you guys are trying that out.
I know you told me to mute, but Skylar already said what it was.
Oh, thank you, Skylar. I missed that. Decagon. And I don't mind if you guys unmute. It's just that you will be on the video. So if you care about that, don't unmute.
Oh, I'm fine being on the video.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay. Let's see what we have here. All right. So if you have, I'm going to come back to the 5. If you figured out the hexagon, put the angle in the chat. Oh, Will, you figured out the pentagon, 72. And oh, you know what? I don't think I've put my pen down. Pen down. Pentagon looks good. If I draw it again, it comes back to the exact same spot. It's not turning slowly every time. If I am off a little bit, like if I was like, oh, it's probably 70, or, you know, like I need it to be a nice round number. When I draw it, it might look close like that. Oh, well, it doesn't look super close, but if it looks close, but when you repeat it, it doesn't draw exactly on top of itself, then you're not exactly right. You can actually get some pretty cool looking things by being a little bit off on your polygon. Okay, so let me change that back to 72.
Spirographs are always fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Spirograph. Yes. Okay. For the hexagon, yes, thank you, James. 60 is correct. So a hexagon is 60. If I keep doing it, it's exactly on itself every single time. How about the octagon? What's the octagon? Anybody get that one? Repeat 8. Yes, good. How about the turn angle? Oh, Nia, 45. Let's see. Oops, I meant to put it in a different spot. Oh, well. Octagon. Oh, I double clicked it and that was the wrong thing to do. Okay, it's a little bit off the screen. How about a nonagon?
We're doing those right now.
Yeah, you were just kind of experimenting to see if you could figure it out. Just pick one to try and figure it out. Nia, you think 40? I think you are correct. And these are getting bigger and bigger because the side length is staying the same, but it has more sides to draw. Okay, how about 10? Anybody figure out the 10-sided decagon? 36. Looks good. Okay, so now we're looking for a pattern. Nobody say the answer yet. Give everybody a chance to think. We're looking for a pattern in the sides, number of sides, and the turn. There is some kind of pattern between those numbers. See if you can figure out what it is. Don't shout it out yet, though. Give everybody a chance to think. You said it?
11:45. No, I didn't. I did not say it.
Aiden. No, she did not. Okay.
What time is this?
What's that?
Which assignment is this?
This assignment, this is going to be 2.4. 2.4. But you don't have to do, like, I'm just kind of showing it to you so that you have the information. You don't have to do it right now.
Okay.
It's better if you don't. Okay. Does anyone, so Mia, hold on. I know
But
you,
we're gonna have to like take a picture of this or something.
you do not need to take a picture of this. It's all
Okay.
in the assignments. You're
Oh yeah.
okay. Who has figured out the pattern? Okay, Mia, hold that thought. Has anyone else figured out the pattern? Mia, could you go ahead and mute, and maybe Winona also. Could you go ahead and mute for me? Okay, I'm going to give you a hint. It has something to do with multiplication or division, depending on how you're thinking about it. Look at the repeat and the turn. What is the pattern? James. Okay, they all equal 360 when you times their rotation by the number of repeats. Yes, exactly right. So if I take the repeat number and multiply it by the turn number, that will always be 360. If I do 5 times 72, that's 360 degrees. If I do 10 times 36, 360. 9 times 40, 300, like they're all 360 degrees. So if you know how many sides you want, you can do 360 divided by that number of sides. So if I wanted to do a 7 septagon, I think a 7 is a septagon. If I wanted to do a 7-sided figure, I could calculate that angle. This is why I didn't have you do 7. And then I would know that angle to use.
It's 51.430.
Yep. 51 point, a non-ending decimal.